Welcome to Mindful Yoga for Healing, Living with and Beyond Cancer. I'd like to introduce you to some concepts that underlie our program. Mindful. Mindful is very simple. It's observing your mind, watching yourself, your reactions, your assumptions with alert interest, no judgment. Yoga, ancient practice, thousands of years old. The word is Sanskrit and it means yoking. Think about yoga as the opportunity to connect with your inner steadiness, with your deep down goodness, union, yoking, healing. The Oxford English Dictionary has a definition of healing I'd like us to consider. It is becoming sound and healthy. And I think of soundness as inner steadiness, stability. So mindful is watching, observing your thinking mind. Yoga, yoking, union with your inner steadiness. And healing, becoming sound, steady, stable. This ancient practice has some very simple precepts or foundational principles. There is an ancient Indian epic story called the Bhagavad Gita, dated at possibly 150 BCE, and contained in that epic is the phrase, yoga is skill in action. So think about yoga not simply as Western culture might tend to limit yoga. It's not simply movement. It's not simply exercise, but rather the ability to live skillfully and fruitfully, to maintain balance and poise, even when the waves of life are choppy, like receiving a cancer diagnosis, when the waves of life are full of uncertainty, like what comes next. And yoga gives you some tools for riding these choppy waves with more equanimity. Yoga is skill in action. There are 5 main types of practice. Asana, postures, what you typically think about when you think of yoga. Pranayama, or breath regulation, which is using that incredibly powerful tool of the breath to down-regulate your nervous system, feel calm and relax. Dhyana, or meditation, and meditation is simply observing your mind. Not so simple in practice because our mind is so busy, always anticipating, remembering, rarely staying in the present moment. Meditation is a practice, very workmanlike, of returning to stillness, returning to the observation of the breath, allowing the thoughts, the feelings to come and go. Next, Swadhyaya, self-study. Yoga is full of potential for self-understanding, for staying present, for recognizing how uncomfortable that can be, and approaching your practice, whether it's breathing, movement, meditation, with curiosity and self-compassion. Finally, satsanga means community. Yoga is a beautiful way to come together with other people and experience the benefits of that social connection. What are the simple tools of observation? In the ancient practice, or the ancient world, it was clear that simple tools of observation were observed from the outside in. Modern technology has given us the capacity to see what the brain is experiencing, doing, activating from the inside out. We now have the capacity with MRIs, EEGs, to confirm that the brain has the capacity to change. The ancients understood this, that what they observed led them to conclude that the mind was nimble and could steady itself and could expand its awareness. And modern science confirms what the ancients knew. There's one particular neuroscientist, Dr. Richie Davidson at University of Wisconsin, who really understood this before his scientific colleagues caught up with it. And he coined, back in the 90s, 92, the word neuroplasticity, the idea that repeated experiences can shape and change the brain. All of this is very good news. Prior to this understanding, it was believed that the majority of brain growth and development happened in the first 5 years of life. And our brain's capacity to change, to heal, to expand its awareness, to learn new things, was far more limited. But now, despite the recognition that absolutely the first 5 years are incredible in terms of brain growth, that as we age and go through life, we continue to have that capacity to learn and grow. Our brains respond to repeated experiences, and yoga is one of those practices that can help change our brain. So what are the reasons to do yoga? Why is yoga an appealing therapeutic choice you might make? Scientific studies and personal experience do back this up, that yoga encourages acceptance, being willing to have the experience you're having rather than resisting or struggling. And what that means is it has positive effects on our mood, anxiety, depression, chronic pain, and a yoga practice can help reduce reliance on medications. Lots of good benefits. Relaxation. We all benefit from relaxation. Our culture is biased towards vigilance, towards looking for external threats. And yoga encourages systemic bodily relaxation. Now that presents itself as a slower heart rate, as increased breath volume, an easeful breath. Finally, and paradoxically, yoga improves your energy. And there's been a lot of research that yoga has an invigorating effect on our mental and physical energy, improving our physical fitness and counteracting fatigue. So consider your own experience of feeling at ease and feeling ill at ease. And I invite you to pause the tape and maybe write down where in your body, when you are feeling at ease, where in your body does that show up? Where in your body do you feel ill at ease? That feeling of tightness, tenderness, tension. And part of our what we're seeking in our time together is becoming very aware of how your own reactivity to challenges you're facing, how they show up in your body, and signal that breathing deeply, resting, allowing yourself to find ease. It could be a walk, it could be a cup of tea, it could be a yoga class, a little time in meditation, finding that soothing ability within yourself to reach deep down to that inner steadiness and feel the benefits of that. So I look forward to our practicing breathing, meditation, movement in this program. Thank you.